Just love technology. Tēnā tātou katoa, kia ora, awesomeness ones. We are live from the motherland. And I am so blessed tonight to be with someone that just is amazing. She knows she is, and I know too. And she's sharing something all the way from across the ocean with us tonight. Let me know katoa, kia ora, if you're here. Awesomeness ones. We are live. Okay, you want to hear myself twice. So let's introduce who you are, beautiful, and where you are and what your energy type is to the whānau.
Oh, kia ora. I am Cecelia Ngere. I am in Brisbane, Australia, and my energy type is a generator. 5-1 is my profile.
Yes, generator. Oh my gosh, so that's so amazing. Let's talk about being a generator for you, and how has that made you more self-aware of who you are?
Oh, I tell you what, it's made all the difference to my understanding about me, learning about my human design, learning that I'm a generator, that I've always had a lot of energy by nature. I am extremely energetic, and I'll go until I go to sleep. And that's always been me. But what I think has been really amazing about learning about my me as a generator is how to use my energy correctly and what that feels like, and that there's all these other aspects about it. So I really have learned to focus on things that light me up. That's a phrase that I haven't ever delved in for myself, because being a generator too is all about the focus being on me, what lights me up, what do I love, and to do what I love. My world was always outside of that to everybody else, and so I used all my energy up in that space, not necessarily in for me. That's made a massive difference to my whole outlook and my whole life.
I love that. And what lights you up, beautiful?
Oh, what lights me up? Sunrises light me up. I'm an early morning person. Walking along the beach lights me up. Painting lights me up. Tapping into my intuition and learning more about my gifts that I have innately, my intuitive gifts, and being able to connect with those through painting, that lights me up. So many music lights me up. Singing karaoke lights me up. I do all these things that light me up, and it makes me really, it actually makes me so energetic that when something comes to me that I really want to do, I've just got the energy to do it. But it lights everybody else around me up too. So they all want to do the things that light them up as well.
That is so good. And when we first met and I asked you that question, where were you at when I said, what lights you up, Cecelia? Where were you at that point, which is a few years ago now?
Yeah, it has been a couple of years. I was in the middle of, I would say, an emotional kind of breakdown at the time, even mental, because I was so entrenched in doing everything for everybody else. Even the course I was on was more about doing it for somebody else, because I didn't really have an idea of what I was doing in it. And what's the word? I just wasn't enjoying life. I was bland. I was like black, just dark and heavy, and I'm not in good places when I'm like that. And I was in that space, and I would say I've been in that space for years, decades even, and not knowing how to be me.
Oh, and
I'm
so
not allowed. Yeah, sorry.
yeah, has human design allowed you to be the true you now?
Oh, learning about my design, learning that I'm a generator, I think confirmed to me things that I knew about myself, but I didn't know how to do that. My profile is also a 5-1, which makes me what they call a heretic investigator. But the 5 profile is all about projection, and people were putting their projections onto me and I was taking them in. I'm extremely empathic, so I was taking on everybody else's energies, had no idea about boundaries. I learned all of this through human design, you know, how to create boundaries and the importance of them for myself. Because how can I be my best self if I'm carrying everybody else's crap around? You know, feeling it, thinking it's mine, thinking I'm the one having mental issues, or, you know, my body's feeling heavy and yucky, but it's not even mine. Didn't know that people were projecting onto me the way that they saw me. And so I was carrying all of those different, you know, faces to please everybody. People pleaser, number one here. And that is so not a generator. Generators are all about making me happy, making ourselves happy, because that's what builds the world. Yeah.
Yes, I love that for us. And has it helped with your decision making as well for you?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So I learned through human design that when I have feelings of satisfaction, I love that. When I feel satisfaction about something that I'm doing, I know that I am heading in the right direction. If I'm feeling frustrated, as soon as if I feel frustrated, I've been frustrated for decades. If I feel frustrated, then I know through my human design, through my being a generator, through my sacral, that I am not in the right place and going in the right direction. And as soon as I feel that frustration, because I really know what that feels like, I switch and I go, hey, I'm going in the wrong direction. Whatever the choices I just made, let's have a look at it, and let's go in the opposite way, because if this one's feeling bad, the other way must be going to feel good, so let's go that way. And it's really that simple, that decision making for me. And when it comes to decision making, it's really in the now for me as a generator. And so I just I'll ask myself yes no questions, and if I get a yes, and I'll get a and I my body moves. I'm a moving person. So if I ask myself a question, oh, do I want to talk to Jody? I'll move forward. And so I know that's a yes. And if I go, do I want to talk to Jody? And then I feel myself move back, I go, oh, that's a no, I don't. But that's a really simple way. And that has simplified my life. Taken all of this out of it, the head work of, oh, am I going the right direction? What happens if I go this way? Oh, what about tomorrow? You lose all of that. You don't need it.
I love that for you. It is just like that, right? I think we overcomplicate everything. And so human design is just that tool that just maps that out for you. How does it feel when the sacral comes in for you? Do you hear it? Do you feel it in your body besides the leaning and the moving? Is there
Yeah, I
other
do.
parts of you that feels it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty instant, and it takes a little while to know how yours works for you. But for me, if I ask myself the yes no question, other than the moving actually happens probably secondary to what my hit is. And I call it a hit. I get this hit, it comes through my right ear, and it's like a ring or as a sound. And through one of my gates, I'm clairaudient, which I had no idea what the word meant until I learned about that. But I've always leaned to my right when I know something's right. And so it comes in here and I hear it now. It's like this ping that I get, oh, there it is. Yeah, I'm going in that direction. But I make sounds too. I'll make sounds like if it's a yes, uh-huh, oh yeah, mm-hmm, you know, or else I'll go, when I'm going, you know, I used to say, oh no, means I don't know, but nah, really, means no. Do you want to go see? Oh, yeah, nah.
Yeah, I do that too. And facials.
Yeah, I get facials. And I try to hide them, because I don't want people to read what I'm really thinking. But I suck at it, because look at my face. It's right out there.
So good. That's so good.
Mhm.
Um, Also, have you learnt about your emotions as well, and what that means for you and your design?
I have learnt about my emotions. Amazing thing about human design. It's made up of so many different, you know, systems. that are combined to show you who you are, you have an experiment to try out whether this works for you, what works and what doesn't work. And I've done a lot of looking into what's called your gates that are in your body graph and your channels. And for me, I have a lot of what's called individual channels. There's 6 individual channels. I have 4 of them. And so what I've learnt in those channels of individuality is that I have a lot of melancholy. I get times when I actually feel really depressed. And those emotions will come up out of nowhere. And I'm thinking, what is going on? Yesterday was fantastic. Now I can't even get myself out of bed, or I feel like crying. And what I've learned through human design, and I've always had them and thought I was like schizophrenic or something like that. No disrespect to the whānau. I mean, that's in my whānau anyway. But I'm like, thinking, oh no, I've got the same thing as the cousins, But what I've learned is that melancholy that comes into me is an opportunity for me to ask the questions. What am I meant to see right now? What am I meant to feel? What am I meant to do? And to sit, and I will just stop everything and write. And it's usually deep pain that is surfacing in those times and those moments. And my body channels that through and the feeling of melancholy. And you know what? I've got really good now. It used to last for weeks. I would have it for 2-3 weeks because I would push it down and not address it. But I've learned that through addressing it, I've got it down to maybe 2 days now, from 2 to 3 weeks to 2 days. And it probably because it takes me a little while to identify, oh, the melancholy's coming. I'm into day 2. I'm like, oh, where's my journal? Start writing. But some deep stuff comes up in that space and time. And then what's interesting, after I work through that, I'll have someone come into my space that's having those experiences. And I can share, oh, hey, have you ever thought of doing something like this? And I'll share something with them that worked for me in that time. And I think, wow, I've never looked at emotions in that way, how to use them to really identify and to, it's healing, to use it as an rongoa and to heal yourself when they come up. So yeah, human design has taught me how to do that. That's been fantastic.
That is so good. How many white or open centers do you have, beautiful?
I have 3 undefined.
Yes.
All the rest are open. Or defined. Sorry, all the rest are defined.
6 open.
There we
So
go.
how are you with the retrograde when 7 planets were moving? Did you feel that? How was that? Was that
Yeah, that was heavy. There was a whole. What was interesting was over the last month, actually, I've been like angry bird, and I'm already anyway a Aries and a fire sign, so I'm pretty energetic and can, when I spark up really fast. But I had to walk myself down the beach all the time just to remove myself from my family because I knew it wasn't my energy. And with all those integration of the planet, everything moving, the seasons, you feel it. Your body feels it. It feels things happening, and you have to move. I find as a generator, I have to move. I can't sit still in one place and not process those kind of feelings and emotions, because if I do, I'll explode. So I go down the beach because I need an awful lot of water to cool me down. And I'll just swim or walk and sweat.
nature out in
Breathing. I do a lot of meditation now. I never used to. And so a lot of that has to do with understanding what my needs are. I need quietness because my mind is very active. So my design has taught me how to have that self-care for myself.
Yes. And what about relationships for you? Has it helped with the feeling the whānau's vibration? I know that's a lot for me sometimes. Has it helped with your relationships?
Yeah, it has. Because I know that I'm empathic because of those defined centers and undefined or open and closed centers and make different ones. My solar plexus specifically, which is one of my undefined spaces. And so whenever I have a son he just blows up out of the blue, and I'm like, I feel myself. Hey, I start to get like this, and I have to step back. And I realize I'm thinking to myself, is that mine? Is that mine? I'm rubbing my solar plexus. That's not mine. I was in a really happy space a minute ago. That's been a massive eye opener, not understanding the relationship with energy and its relationship with me, and the best way for me to process that and to use it in a productive and positive way to still have healthy relationships with my family around me. Because I've got a house full of generators, manifesting generators, and I've got one manifester. Oh, mate, she's a work of art, but literally, but and we're all pretty energetic. So I love that. But I think even in regards to relationships, not even in this plane, but relationships with on other sides of the veil and those types of relationships, I've developed a healthier connection with them for myself to remain in a safe space. It hasn't always been a safe space for me. And so understanding my human design, understanding my gates and my centers has taught me how to communicate and be safe in those spaces now. I actually went and did a Reiki course. Now, because of my hair, I've always been approached by healers, always been told I'm a healer, and didn't really understand that. My upbringing didn't really allow me to understand that with my religious upbringing. And so this last couple of years, I've really tapped into that. And a friend of mine was a Reiki master. I thought, I'm going to go and learn Reiki. And what it did, I think, was it gave me language and it gave me understanding for my gifts, or a place to start to understand them, which was in line with my human design, that allowed me to open up my mind to follow those paths and to connect to my gifts that I have was through my human design. So it's been a real opener for me. Not knowing how to, I wouldn't have known how to investigate so many different changes that I've done without it.
I love that. So we've got a Reiki painting retreat you're about to plan then?
Hey, you know what? That's fantastic. Hey, I could do that. And I got a message this morning from my my Reiki master, inviting me to do my Reiki master. So I'm really excited about that. Again, I said to her, let me sit on that, let me think on that, because I wanted to check in with my sacral, because the rest of me is going, yes, 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 yes. But I'm thinking, let's just stop, generator, stop, because you just want to go ahead and make stuff. And and I've got a really strong hit to continue in that path. So I like that, a Reiki painting retreat.
I like it too. I would fly over the ocean for that,
I
to
would
get
fly home to do it.
Let's plan it somewhere amazing, away from all of our families. Kia ora to Chief that's on with us. She's saying kia ora,
Chief.
she understands about the water and how soothing that is too.
Yeah, absolutely.
We love Chief Empire here. And if you meet somebody new that's interested in human design, what would you say to that beautiful soul, and if they were thinking of learning about their own human design?
I'm laughing, because my open throat chakra just wants to dump a whole lot of information on them and go, hey, come here, let's have a look at what's your birthday? What time were you born? Let's check out your body graph. Oh, here's your body graph. What? Well, look what you are. You're a da-da-da-da. That's what I do to all my family. I've got charts for all of them done. And they look at them and they're like, hey, just look up all those funny words that you see there that you don't understand, go to Google, look them up, and start understanding who you are. And that's pretty much what I do. And I would say to anybody, if you feel a pull to it, human design. When I heard you use that phrase, I'm going to be a human design coach, da da da. I'm like, human design? What is that? My whole design and my human design is all about me and understanding how I tick. And so when you said that, all I thought was, oh, do you think that will help me understand how I tick? And that's what I think for anybody. Does anybody want to know how they tick? Why they do things? What triggers them? Why are they triggered? What's a better way of doing it? How's the best way for you to eat? How's the best way for you to sleep? Right down to things as simple as that. What kind of work is the best type of work for me according to my design? I think it's got so many answers that you shortcut. I wish I'd found this 20 years ago. Shortcut your life to understand who you are, to put you in a better position to do you, to be you, and to be the best you. And I think that's what's amazing about it.
That is so good. Let's put that out on a bumper sticker. Totally open for you to come and join my new 6-month program, which is how to become a human design reader. You can come and be a guest speaker and we'll give you a discount. Starts in March, girlfriend. Just putting it out there. So
is it online?
Is it online?
Or do I have to be there in person?
It's online, and at the end of the 6 months, there's a retreat here. So you're totally open to being a part of that, and it is online. I would love to have you there. It would be so amazing. Thank you so much, beautiful. I love hanging out with you. I feel blessed that you are in my world and that you've stepped into who you are, because you are brilliant. You are beautiful. Just want you to know, I know that. And now all of you knows that. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Yep, Chief's going to make us a bumper sticker, she says. So that's cool.
I love her.
Yeah, I love her too. She's so cool. I'll probably have her on too here somewhere.
Awesome.
Any last words you'd like to share with anyone out there thinking human design? What is that?
Well, all I would say is just open up your heart and open up your mind to something that could be different or unusual to you. It's not going to hurt you in any way. It's only going to be a blessing and to give you more of an insight into who you are. And you got the lovely Jodie that they can come and see and talk to understand and do a reading for. That was the first thing that I did, was I got Jodie to do me a reading. And it was the best money. Money just seems so cheap. It was just the best time and investment that I put into myself to have that reading done, because it really did snowball a change that wouldn't have happened any other way. I would have been still stuck in my not self and very frustrated and angry and upset and not knowing how to change that or what that would look like any other way. So open up your mind, ask some questions, just ask questions. Yeah, I'm open. Jo knows how to get hold of me and ask me questions too at any time.
Thank you so much, beautiful. Chief is sending her love to both of us. We love you too. And that's a wrap for us. So if you want to look at human design, totally have readings. We've got Afterpay on my website now, which is pretty flash, and they're way more expensive than when you bought them a few years ago. I'm knowing my worth, so put it up.
Kia ora.
Thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate you always and love you.
Thank you.
Thank you, beautiful. Okay, that's it from us. Any questions, let me know in the chat, or just go and invest in you people. You're amazing.